commence to singing joyfully. Everybody look up and feel the hope that we've been waiting for. Everybody is glad because our silent fear and dread is gone. It's love, you see, that has our hearts singing so blissfully. Just look around, you owe it to yourself to check it out. Yeah, check it out now. Ooh, look around, look around, look around. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody be glad, because the sun is shining just for us. Everybody wake up into the morning, into happiness. Hello world, it's like a different way of living now. And thank you world, we always knew that we'd be free somehow. In harmony, to show the world that we've got liberty. It's such a change for us to live so independently. It's not a city that has our hearts singing so blissfully. Just look around, you owe it to yourself to check it out. Can you feel a brand new day? 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 Ooh, everybody, look around you and you see the world is beautiful. It's made for you. It's made for me. It's wonderful to wake up in such happiness. You're gonna make it, yeah, but you got to always do your best. In harmony, to show the world that we've got liberty. In such a change, we never live so independently. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Just look around. You owe it to yourself to check it out. Can you feel a brand new day? 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 Just look around. Can you feel a brand new day? I feel a brand new day. Brand new day. Can you feel a brand new day? Yeah, a brand new day. Can you feel it? Brand new day. I feel it. Brand new day. A brand new day. Everybody look around, cause there's a reason to rejoice, you see. Everybody come out and let's commence to singing joyfully. Everybody look up and feel the hope that we've been waiting for. Everybody is glad because our silent fear and dread is gone. It's love, you see, that has our hearts singing so blissfully. Just look around, you owe it to yourself to check it out. Yeah, check it out now. Ooh, look around, look around, look around. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody be glad, because the sun is shining Christmas, you see. Everybody come out and let's commence the singing joyfully. Everybody look up and feel the hope that we've been waiting for.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Brian Harris. I'm the music director here at the Center. We are so pleased to have you all with us here in person and also out there in the YouTube and Facebook world. Please stand and join us in song. We've got Lauren Steele with us today. And as you can tell, we do not have the screen here in the parking lot because of the weather. So if you'd like to look at the lyrics, they are on our website. So you can use your phones and get there. Love is leading me on. Love is leading me on. Troubles fade and my heart is strong. Love is leading me on. When my day feels like an empty cup, love is leading me on. I open up and let love fill me up. Love is leading me on. Love is leading me on. Love is leading me on. Troubles fade and my heart is strong. Love is leading me on. Feel my sorrows and I know my fears. Love is leading me on. But I know God is loving me right in here. Love is leading me on. Love is leading me on. Love is leading me on. Troubles fade and my heart is strong. Love is leading me on. And when I worry what they will think of me, love is leading me on. Spirit says they see what they need to see. Love is leading me on. Love is leading me on. Love is leading me on. Troubles fade and my heart is strong. Love is leading me on. Love is leading me on. Love is leading me on. Troubles fade and my heart is strong. Love is leading me on. Love is leading me on. Love is leading me on. Thank you so much.
I'd like to say hi to everyone watching us out there on the internet. Please let us know where you're joining us from and like and share this video.
Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let's do that again. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 yeah. Everybody get up on your feet. everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Come on, Adrian. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 yeah. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah.
Woo! Thank you so much. Elizabeth Faith and the New Thought Messengers. Hello, everyone. Oh, welcome and welcome to those of you watching online from all over, wherever you are. Know that you are with us here in this space energetically. Welcome. It's so glorious to look out and see all of your masked mugs. I see your eyes peering through. Have we all mastered how to smile with our eyes these days? I see many eyes smiling. Thank you. Thank you for that. This is the time in our service where we acknowledge that we are on the ancestral land of the Kalapuya people. We affirm Indigenous history, experiences, and sovereignty. And this is also the time in our service where we affirm and we acknowledge our teens and all the work that they are doing in the world as they go to do their spiritual practice. Thank you, practitioners, Barbara and Sarah, for holding the space for them so beautifully. We here at the New Thought Center for Spiritual Living are an inclusive, progressive, and compassionate spiritual community that is dedicated to helping make the world a better place for all people. Here in our spiritual community, all people are welcome, all faiths, all life paths, everyone is welcome here. And not only are you welcome here, but we have mindfully and we have thoughtfully created a place just for you, exactly as you are this day. So welcome. And if you are here for the first time, we've got welcome packets at the table. You can gather information there if you're here locally, or please visit us online. We have all kinds of information, all the good things that we get to do in this community. So with that, I invite you to take a deep breath in as I invite Reverend Masando forward to bless our time together.
So I just invite us to take a moment and just be right here now. Whether we're tuning in from our homes or we're here in this beautiful outdoor sanctuary, I just invite us to land in this place and come into this alignment with, this attunement of this living spirit presence that is continually moving through all things, that has been called by so many different names throughout the ages. We just come into this presence to remember exactly who we are, what our truest truth is. It doesn't matter what we've called it, it matters that we're connected to it, that we allow it to be this still small voice in our lives that eventually becomes the strongest, the most grounded, and a voice we slowly recognize as our own, as our most authentic. And so, as we just breathe into that, you come fully into this place and allow that living spirit presence to be here now. And so as we just give thanks for this time together, we allow it to be. And we let it be so. And so it is. So as we just continue in this space and move into some meditative time, I just invite us as we are here together to continue to breathe and to allow these lyrics to be the tape that is running through your mind this week, as we just simply come into this place and into the presence and into a meditative space where we simply remember who we are.
Have you come to earth? Do you remember why have you taken birth? Why have you come to love, serve, and remember? To love, serve, and remember. Why have you come to earth? Do you remember why have you taken birth? Why have you come to love, serve, and remember? To love, serve, and remember. 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 And so it is. Well, it is my extreme pleasure to introduce our featured artist this morning. She is an incredible singer-songwriter and the daughter of Portland's very own, what's her nickname now? Queen of the Blues? First Lady of the Blues. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Lauren Steele. And while she makes her way to the stage, I'd like to introduce the band. As always, on the bass guitar, we've got Brandon Hitu, Adrian Martin on guitar, and filling in for us this morning, I'm so happy to have him with us. It's been ages since he's been here, Mike Snyder.
Life is a journey, not a destination. There are no mistakes, just chances we've taken. Lay down your regrets, 'cause all we have is now. Wake up in the morning and get out of bed. Start making a mental list in my head of all of the things that I am grateful for. Early in the morning, it's the dawn of a new day, new hopes, new dreams, new ways. I open up my eyes and I open up my mind and I wonder how life will surprise me today. Early in the morning, it's the dawn of a new day, new hopes, new dreams, new ways. I open up my heart and I'm gonna do my part and make this a positively beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Life is a challenge, not a competition. You can still smell the roses and be on a mission. Just take a moment to get in touch with your heart. Sometimes you feel like you got something to prove. Remind yourself that there is only one you. Just take a moment to give thanks to who you are. Early in the morning, it's the dawn of a new day, new hopes, new dreams, new ways. I open up my eyes and I open up my mind and I wonder how life will surprise me today. Early in the morning, it's the dawn of a new day, new hopes, new dreams, new ways. I open up my heart and I'm gonna do my part and make this a positively beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Let's make this a beautiful day. Let's make this so wonderful. Let's make this so beautiful. Let's make this a powerful day. Life is a journey, not a destination. There are no mistakes, just chances we've taken. Lay down your regrets, 'cause all we've got is now.
Lauren Steele.
Oh, Lauren Steele, everyone. I am such a fan. I am such a fan of this woman. I swear you could sing the phone book. Am I right? What? Oh, thank you so much. That song just brought me so much joy. Thank you so much. It is a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day. I want to thank Reverend Masando for his beautiful talk last Sunday. Yes. He spoke about grace and how we all have this opportunity to allow grace in our lives, to get out of our own way, so to speak, to create the spaciousness for the activity of the divine in our lives. And you know, I want you to just know that when I sit down to prepare this talk for you, I take into my heart the sort of energetic field and what is happening, what I'm gathering from what you tell me and from what I feel, from what I observe in the world and in our own community. And, you know, we are going through so much change right now. And there has been so much loss right now. And what I have observed is there has been this influx of people coming into our teaching, there's been so many people since the pandemic started in 2020 who were searching for something, for a truth that resonated with them, and they found us online. Hello, beloveds online, wherever you are watching us from, all over the world. There's a very real thing called pandemic flux syndrome. Have any of you heard of this? It's very interesting, and one of the aspects of it is that some people from a place of anxiety or fear will want to change something drastically in their lives. Have you noticed? It's been happening. It's interesting. Some people are leaving relationships. Some people are starting new relationships. Some people are moving. Some people are deciding to stay. We've had people, a few people in our community who have decided for whatever reason to leave. We've had far more people decide to join. But there is a reason for this, and it is rooted in all of that which we are experiencing right now. And I want to talk about that. I want to link that to our experience of God, to our experience of the divine, because what I'm getting is a lot of new people asking questions about this whole concept of God, and a lot of people who have been in this teaching for a very long time wanting to have a renewed experience of God. So wherever you are in that, this talk is for you. Sound good? Okay, all right. So we can consciously or unconsciously block our grace, as Reverend Masanto spoke about so beautifully last week, or our good. We can block our connection with the divine, if you will, due to often unconscious, unhealed baggage around the very concept of God, the very concept of the divine, specifically religion, or more granularly, the actual word God. I am interested today in spending some time unpacking that little three-letter word that starts with a big giant G, God, together. Hence the title of my talk today, Reclaiming That Three-Letter Word. Now, the definition of the word reclaim is to retrieve or recover something previously lost, which feels quite apropos because in many ways, many of us along our journey lost either the concept of God or God itself. Many of us discovered this community as a result of that, yes? So, something to note, God did not just start communicating with us through sacred texts or the church or the prophets. That would mean that God had nothing to share 13.7 billion years before all of that happened. God didn't show up in the last nanosecond of geological time. That doesn't track. I love how Father Richard Rohr talks about this. He wrote, "From the first moment of the Big Bang, nature was revealing the glory and goodness of the divine presence." In the 19th century, the Catholic Church was grasping for authority in the face of rationalism and scientism, so they decided to declare that the Pope was infallible, meaning that he was incapable of making mistakes or ever being wrong. And then the evangelicals got into the power grab, adding to the mayhem, and they decided that in order for them to gain control and power, they would make the Bible inerrant, meaning the Bible is without error and is to be taken as absolute fact. This is a very new idea in the realm of geological time, so to speak. Despite the actual fact that we had gotten along hundreds and hundreds of years fine without either of those false beliefs about the Pope or the Bible, which really did a number on a lot of people and would have actually seemed idolatrous to early Christians. The word God, in many ways, has been hijacked. And it was hijacked early on. You know, in just about every single class I teach, the very first night, I ask by a show of hands, how many people even feel just an inkling of discomfort or a knee-jerk reaction or outright aversion to the word God or to other religious-y words, Father, prayer, Jesus. And I will tell you that every single class, because people will go, yes, and then other people will be like, no, not at all. Oh, well, yeah, a little bit. Almost every hand goes up. Sometimes there are exceptions, but it's rare. Are you with me, Reverend Basando? It's every single time. Okay. So for the purposes of this talk, I want to just stick, for simplicity's sake, I want to stick with the word God, okay? But please feel free to insert whatever word you may take issue with this. This talk is meant to serve you wherever you may be on this topic. For me personally, for the longest time, even into the very beginning of my ministerial studies, the word Father being used for God was the source of discomfort for me in my body. It's different for everyone. So I want to be clear. I understand that this conversation is not necessarily easy. For some folks, this particular subject may feel like a bit of a heavy lift. You may be thinking, come on, this is New Thought. Why are we going there, Shannon? Why? Because I promise there's a payoff in the end. And what I know is that whenever there are any kind of knee-jerk reactions to concepts or an internal response that is disquieting around an idea, there's a deep call within us to gently inquire, to gently question it, to allow the revealing of healing around it. And just know you are in great company. You're in great company. The word Israel, the actual word Israel means to struggle with God, but ultimately triumph. That's what Israel means. The conversation that we're having today has been around for a very, 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 very long time. And as such, this ancient memory, this old call within us, if we choose to answer it, to be with this idea of God or Spirit and experience our own triumph, that is what I believe we are here to do in this spiritual community. To heal whatever has pained us in the past around this concept of God and religion. It's one of the reasons why we join together. So for those of you who are cool with the word God, but maybe you grew up in a conservative religion, but managed somehow in that to cultivate a relationship with the divine, like the Christian and Muslim mystics, maybe you consider God to be your loving friend, and you have a sweet relationship there. That's wonderful, that's great, congratulations. But maybe for you, it's actually the whole concept of religion, right? Religiosity that wigs you out, which I totally get. Let's face it. Religion has failed in many ways. It has been the source of enormous pain for people all over the world across time. So I invite you to keep the following in mind if you fall into that particular category. The word religion comes from religio, which actually means to reconnect. That's what religion originally meant. The process of forming community, in our case, a new thought, progressive, spiritual community for the purpose of, among other things, but mainly reconnecting, remembering God or Spirit in our life. That is what religion is actually supposed to be, a place of reconnection. I know that is what I feel when I am here, is that reconnection, that remembering of Spirit. I often joke that my atheist friends, the God that my atheist friends don't believe in is the same God that I don't believe in. I don't believe in that God either. I haven't for a very, very, very long time. I used to, but I don't anymore. My God has transformed, has changed. I get it, though. I really understand. There has been so much toxicity piled on top of the idea of God. Dun, 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 dun. Yes. A lot of it has been harmful. It's been baggage. I'll tell you, depending on where I am, I can clear a room at a party if someone asks me what I do for a living. To be a fly on that wall, I'm telling you. You know, a very sarcastic God currently has a Twitter and Instagram account. If you've ever seen that, I'll sometimes be scrolling, you know, and suddenly I stop and I'm like, I've got a message from God. That's their account, God. It's hilarious. I mentioned earlier the absolute edict that was handed down from desperate Christians wanting power, declaring that some man in the sky who was akin to some sort of galactic emperor, you know, for many of us now, today, sounds somewhat absurd. You know, I understand. And I feel it is very, 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 very important to say in this conversation that for some people, the monotheistic male God out there, perhaps even in the sky, actually brings comfort and safety. It is what works for them. And you will get zero judgment from me about that. However anyone experiences the divine is how they experience the divine. So I just want to preface all of this by really holding that in the energy of compassion and inclusivity. Now, when we hear a New Thought use the word God, it is grace, as Reverend Masando talked about last week. God is the activity of love. God is energy. God is the goodness in the world. God is the soul of the universe. Now, I think to some extent those concepts, those descriptors of God, God as qualities, may be easier for our brains to comprehend. But where I see folks get tripped up, even if they've been in this teaching for a very long time, is in that first picture or snapshot of God. That lingering image. It may be a nanosecond for some of you. When I ask you to picture God, to visualize God, for many folks, first, there is this super quick, very quick image of a person, usually a man, an older man. And this may be quickly replaced by the qualities of God: love, grace, goodness, kindness. But you know I like to name things so we can transcend them. I know I had to do this for myself. So this may not pertain to you, that's fine. But this is true for a lot of folks. There is a good number of practitioners and ministers even that have this experience, that very first picture of God, or maybe when they're caught off guard, right? That can be a human being, an anthropomorphized God. And that can be a powerful instant when we're having this conversation about the divine. Maybe it stems from early childhood or being in a particular religion for a long time, but that initial snapshot can cause a lot of people to throw the baby out with the bathwater. You know? People see that image in their minds and they say, forget it, forget it. There are several studies that have been done here in the United States that show that when asked to imagine God, the majority of the people in these different studies invariably describe a human being with superhuman abilities. In his book, God, A Human History of Religion, Reza Aslan writes, "The compulsion to humanize the divine is hardwired in our brains, which is why it has become a central figure in almost every religious tradition the world has known. And when you think about it," he writes, "what better way to remove the barrier between human beings and God than by making God a human being?" So it does have its benefits. It certainly did have its benefits. However, whenever there is an abuse of power, especially by clergy, that completely backfires. This was reinforced by the traditional take of the "we are made in the image and likeness of God" idea found in the scriptures, even in Islam, where they are very, very, very clear in their belief that God cannot be confined to one particular image, human or otherwise. That's why you won't ever see, any depictions in mosques or statues of what Allah may look like. That is considered totally, totally sacrilege. However, Islam's refusal to depict God in human form did not translate into a refusal to depict God in human terms. Muslims are just as likely as other people of faith to describe God with their own virtues and feelings and failings. So this whole "we are made in the image and likeness of God" notion can often trip people up and create all sorts of confusion and unrealistic expectations, or just negativity in general, depending on their experience. Are you with me? All right. But all of this said, I have another take on this whole idea for you to consider. I do believe that we are made in the image and likeness of God. However, I believe that it has nothing to do with what human beings actually look like. The word image is from the original Latin, meaning to copy or to imitate. That's what image means. It means to copy something. We have incarnated here, my friends, to love, to serve, to remember. We have incarnated here, my friends, to be of God, of spirit. And we are here to practice the activity of love by copying or imitating or replicating the qualities of God while we are here on earth for each other. How cool is that? The image of God is the greatest thing about us, but it has nothing to do with what we look like. It has everything to do with how we behave in the world, how we treat each other in the world. The image of God is our compassion and kindness in those moments when we soften and where we laugh uncontrollably and where we create art and where we discover more science and where we share this image of God when we forgive and when we give and when we forgive and when we give more. That is the image of God that I am talking about in this community for each of us. The true image of God within us is the most true, the most powerful, the most glorious, magnificent self. And we can reclaim that within ourselves. Remember, to reclaim is to retrieve or to recover something previously lost. If we can remember our inherent worth, we can reclaim that divine image for ourselves. We, my loves, are the original blessing, not the original sin. God lives and breathes that activity. It's the activity within us that lives through us. And when we live from this place of integration with Spirit, then we can truly reclaim God in all its fullness without the CRAP. We can reclaim God. We can take back God in our lives in the truest sense, in the original sense, in the mystical sense of what it always was meant to be. The first and oldest living religion, Hinduism, talks about this beautifully. Thousands, some say between 7,000 and 10,000 years before the man Jesus walked the planet. It was mystical. The idea, the relationship with the divine was mystical. And then it just got lost. It just got lost. Spirit, source, God is the great connector of all of us. And this is seen throughout science and runs through every atom in the universe. One of the things I love the most about our teaching, about New Thought, is our very rational recognition of the connection between science and spirituality. You know, on the very first page of the very first chapter of his textbook, the very first sentence Ernest Holmes wrote was, "We all look forward to the day when science and religion shall walk hand in hand through the visible to the invisible." It's the first sentence. There was a study done here in the United States of scientists in universities, and they found that although only a small subset of those particular scientists identified with religion in the traditional sense, the majority of them actually considered themselves spiritual in some way. And interestingly, their sense of spirituality was congruent with their views about science. There's a new thought. My mom sent me a video recently. Hi, Mom. She watches every Sunday, by the way. She sent me a video that was, has been making the rounds on social media. And it was created by a gentleman up in Alberta, Canada, by the name of Dr. Mike Sosteric. He's a professor of sociology, and he does a lot of really cool work connecting science and spirituality. And his company did a video explaining Einstein's 3 stages of God and religion. I know some of you, Liz, I know you saw that on my page. And he basically, really synthesizes Einstein's view of this in this video. Check it out if you haven't seen it. It's based on Einstein's book, The World as I See It. It's very well done. And here's the idea. Einstein explained his view of God and religion in 3 distinct stages. Stage 1, this is according to Albert Einstein. Stage 1 of God and religion was the tribal stage. According to Einstein, tribal religion was based on fear of the natural world. In this first stage, humans used magic, ritual, and sacrifice to gain control over powerful and often destructive natural forces. Einstein wrote, in stage 1, with primitive humans, it was fear that evoked religious notions, fear of hunger, wild beasts, sickness, and death. So that was stage 1. Now fast forward a couple millennia-ish, okay? In stage 2, Einstein explained, from his viewpoint, religion was based on civilization and the existential and emotional pain caused by it. In this stage, in stage 2, humans create a father figure or a mother figure, a God who could protect them, nurture them, and provide them with psychological and emotional support. Einstein wrote, this stage 2 is the God of providence who protects, disposes, rewards, and punishes. Here in the West, this is the stage and God of many of our childhoods. But then Einstein talks about a 3rd stage. A 3rd stage. He felt that the 3rd stage was based on a mystical experience. In this stage, people in societies put fear and superstition and anthropomorphic or human-like projections of God behind them. They lay that down, and instead they embrace spiritual, transcendent experiences. In this 3rd stage, Einstein said people would develop a cosmic religious feeling that were strong motivators of science, and that both science and art would play a large role in encouraging spiritual experiences. Most importantly, Einstein thought that this advanced or 3rd stage of human religion could, if it was purely purified and purged, cure our social ills and help save the planet. Isn't that beautiful? Einstein believed that achieving a mystical relationship with God would save our planet. What a visionary. What a visionary. I'm all for that. Are you for that? Yes. 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 But here's the deal. We cannot reclaim something, which again is to retrieve or recover something previously lost, until it has been healed. Yes, we all want mystical experiences with the divine, but if there is anything unhealed within us about or around the concept of the divine, that won't happen. That gets in the way. We see, that there are so many opportunities for us to reclaim. But first, we must heal. This is very true of the words that we use, including any word associated with God. So I want to give you some examples of how people have used this idea of reclaiming something as a transformational tool. We see this at play in spaces that have been historically marginalized. Take the LGBTQIA space. The word queer was originally a derogatory word, often used to be cruel. But beginning in the 1990s, it was triumphantly reclaimed by many in the gay community as not only a descriptor, but as an identity to be proud of. It was reclaimed, but it had to be healed first. Look at the body positivity spaces. For many folks, the word fat has been reclaimed and is being used as a revolutionary word to describe identity that brings power and pride as opposed to shame or pain. That word has been reclaimed, but healing had to happen first. I think we have a lot to learn from this, my friends. For those of us here in these progressive spiritual spaces, I am inviting us to reclaim the word God as an unapologetic affirmation that we have healed within us those first and second stages of a God out there and an oppressive religion. That we have triumphantly moved into the third mystical stage of spiritual development, the place where God is experienced within us and all around us. Let me give you an example of how we're moving from stage 1 and stage 2 and claiming the third stage, mystical experience of God. We are not here to pray to God. The ineffable force of life doesn't need our prayers. Our prayers are for us. We are here to pray from God, from the image and the likeness of the divine within us. God isn't something to be reached for out there. God is the energy of love to be recognized right here in each other. When we really get that God is present right here in this breath, on the breath, take a breath. When we get that God is present, fully present in that breath, not out there somewhere, we have reclaimed, we have retrieved, we have found, we are experiencing God in the most cosmic and mystical sense. In New Thought, we teach that God is the life force everywhere present. I love how Elizabeth Barrett Browning explains this. She wrote, Earth's crammed with heaven, and every common bush afire with God. Oh, seriously. Go, Elizabeth. I mean, every common bush afire with God. So this week, my friends, I invite you to gently notice that life force, God, even in the smallest things, the birds singing, the rain, the sunshine that comes out. You know, your own divine impulse to serve others. Think about it, just this week, you all put together 15 complete resettlement kits, Yes, 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 yes. To support our Afghan siblings who are moving here to Oregon. That is the activity of the image and likeness of God within you. Just notice this week how you are seeing and relating to God in your life. If you happen to get that first initial picture of a human God, maybe in the sky or far away, that may reward or punish, just gently notice that so that you can begin to really create space for a new thought about that. To make that conscious within you so that you can move past that. If you find yourself dismissing the religion or the religiosity of others, which can show up in politics, I invite you to gently bring your divine likeness to that moment and allow your generosity of spirit to be compassionate in that moment. You do not have to agree, but you can be kind. Meister Eckhart said, every creature is a word of God and a book about God. Every creature, all of us, are a word of God and a book about God, whatever stage we may be in. So, my friends, we can hold, with a capital H, we can hold the word God or any other religious words that have in the past challenged us in a new and in a different way, in a mystical way. I wholeheartedly invite you into the practice of reclaiming the word God or whatever word makes you squirrely from a place of empowerment rather than disempowerment. Reclaim God from a place of pride rather than shame. Reclaim God from a place of divine identity rather than separation. Because in truth, there is no separation. We are one with each other, all creatures, and we are one in God. Let's pray. I invite you to take a deep breath in, recognizing this breath of the divine is this mystical breath that we have all shared since before time. How good it is to be here together in this breath. Our beloveds sharing this breath with us wherever they are online in the world, whatever time of day or night. How good it is to claim and proclaim this oneness. What I know is that everything before me is spirit. Every sound I hear, every being before me is spirit made manifest right here. We are of God. We are of this love. We are of this life force. And we are here to co-create more and more love on this planet. This is why we incarnated here. And so it is from this place of absolute love and connection and mystical experience and cosmic intelligence of the divine that each of us moves through our week. And in doing so, we are a blessing to ourselves and others. And I bless all people everywhere, all people who gather in mosques and synagogues and temples and churches and ashrams and circles, knowing that each of us is experiencing this divine, this love, this God, in whatever stage we're in whatever way we practice. It is all grounded in the place of the divine relationship. I say a special prayer this day for Mother Earth, for the healing of all the places that have erupted with storms and fires. Just blessing, blessing, blessing all of that. I allow this prayer to be a beacon of love to any being, anywhere, that is experiencing racism or illness from COVID or violence of any kind. We just allow this prayer, this feeling, this love to be there now, just as it is right here now, just as it is always in all ways now. From this place of grace, I give so much thanks. I give so much gratitude for this life that is unfolding for each of us in the name of love. I rest in this truth. I allow it to be, and so it is. Blessed be. Amen. Thank you.
Let's give it up for Reverend Shannon. Thank you so much. Man, it's amazing to be a part of this spiritual community. I feel like I've been here forever. And gosh, one of the things I love about this place is not only like that, to knowing like that my dollars are going towards the thriving of this community, but that this community is committed to supporting so many other works in the world. So we have a list of so many organizations that we give our money to, but I just want to mention a few that we are giving to this month. The International Rescue Committee, that's supporting families from Afghanistan. The Oregon Community Foundation, which does philanthropic works all throughout the state. And Portland United Against Hate, which is an amazing organization that seeks to prevent and educate around hate crimes here in Portland. So it is just, it's get all these warm fuzzies when I think about the ways in which, my gifts go on to bless so many others. So in that invitation, in that spirit, I just invite you, and whatever way that you give, whether it's through texting, and you can text 503-966-3236, or you can go old school and use the buckets that are here at our outdoor sanctuary. And of course, you can always give online on our website as well. So I just invite you just to take that gift and to know, like, literally, it expands exponentially, and that you are a blessing in this world through the way that you show up and give those gifts. So invite us to say our offertory blessing together. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and prosper. It does good work in the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. And I'd like to bring back Lauren Steele.
It's a simple song. Yesterday, a man stepped to me. He said, how can you smile when your world is crumbling down? I said, here's my secret. When I want to cry, I take a look around and I see that I'm getting by, and I hold on.
Hold on.
Change is coming.
Change is coming.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Don't worry about it. Hold on.
Hold on.
You can make it.
You can make it.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Everything
will be alright.
Some people like to worry. Some people like to cry. Some people like to run away from the pain inside. Now that's your business. Do whatever you want to do. But if it don't work out, here's what you ought to do. You ought to hold on.
Hold on.
Change is coming.
Change is coming.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Don't worry.
Worry about a thing.
Hold on.
Hold on.
You can make it.
You can make it.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Everything
will be alright.
when the troubles of life weigh you down, just lift your head up. When the love you seek is hard to strong and hold on, hold on. You can make it. Hold on, everything. Hold on, you can make it.
You can make it.
Hold on, everything. Don't you worry about it. Hold on. You can make it. You can make it. Hold on. Hold on. Everything. Hold on. Change is coming. Change is coming. Hold on. Everything. Hold on. Hold on. You can make it. You can make it. Hold on. Everything.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Lauren. So just a few quick announcements for y'all before we go. Beyond Limits is starting Monday night, starting September 27th. Reverend Shannon has personally rewritten this curriculum. I'm so stoked to see all the folks that go through this opening course together. So I think early bird registration ends today. So this is your last day to get that discounted price. You can sign up to tables out at the back or at newthoughtcsl.org. Just want to give you an update too. We got 15 complete care kits for our Walking Our Prayers, celebrating new arrivals from the Afghanistan community. And we got over $1,000 in donations of cash and gift cards. And y'all, we're just getting started. That was literally like 6 days. We collected all of that. So know that this project has been going on at least for the next couple months or so. So please continue to check out our tables out back if you want to sign up to be a part of creating a kit. And if you want to help us out in any way, please engage with us. We also wanted to announce our community-wide fall retreat is happening October 22nd through 24th. And just want to let you all know, we are really committed to having this retreat in a safe environment. So we can just have this amazing, robust, really powerful retreat experience together. So, through the guidance of the state of Oregon and the CDC, we are requiring, proofs of vaccination and that you have a negative COVID test for no less than 48 hours before we start. So just know we're putting all of these in place so we have this amazing experience together. So if you have any questions about that, come see us at the back tables after service. And lastly, y'all, choir has restarted. Yes, we had their first rehearsal this past Thursday. So we're still meeting over Zoom for now, but 7:30 to 8:30. If you want to jump in, there's still time. Just email our new choir director, Elizabeth Harper, at elizabeth.harper@newthoughtcsl.org. Reverend Shannon, come on back up.
Yes.
We got people tuning in from SoCal, all over Oregon, Florida, Spain, Vegas, Germany, and Atlanta today.
Spain!
Spain's been in the building.
Hi, Spain! I was just visiting you on International House Hunters the other night. I love that show. And I love Spain. I want to welcome back our teens. Thank you for all that you are doing to create goodness in this world. You are our future. We're grateful for you. Parents, you can pick your kids up at the pavilions in the back. If you are a practitioner, please stand. And just know that these beloveds, who you can see them by their white stoles that they wear, they are skilled in the art form of affirmative prayer. And if you have anything on your heart, anything at all that you would like prayer for They are here to support you and uplift you in that way. They are available. They're going to make their way to the back there outside, and they will pray with you. I invite you to treat yourself to that. It's such a gift. Know that you can also fill out a prayer request form. It's available in the back tables. And you can, those of you online, you can also fill out a prayer request online. All right, so with that, let us together say our final blessing. May you go in the light, as the light, and with the light, until we meet again. May the longtime sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide you on your way. You are loved. Mwah. See you
I
next week.
release, now let go. I let the Spirit